All right, so here we go. We've got 7w to the third times, so the last times 5w. Last section we were adding, subtracting letter stuff, and that was just like terms, you know. Now we're going to multiply letter stuff. So what's the rule when you multiply two letter kind of things, two number letter terms? Yeah, right. Multiply the numbers in the front, add the powers. Yeah. So that's when you're for multiplying. Well, I'll just grab the title up here. Multiplying polynomials. You multiply numbers in the front, add the powers. So this would be 7 times 5, 35. Add the powers. Now what power is on that second W? 1. So add the powers. It's 4. And we're done. 35w to the 4th. Just multiply the numbers in the front, add the powers. I think it's helpful to compare. What if instead of times, they had 7w cubed plus 5w? What if they were trying to add them instead of multiply them? What would we do? We'd do nothing, huh? It'd be unlike terms. We just say you cannot. You cannot because they're unlike terms. So I just want to show both sets of rules because there's always different rules for adding, subtracting things than there is for multiplying or dividing things, huh? So for adding, subtracting, we're all concerned with whether they're like terms or not, and if they're not, we can't do it. For multiplying, I mean, we don't care whether they're like terms or not. We just do it. Just multiply the numbers in the front, add the powers, huh? Just like that. Different rules, right? Okay, and what if they were both the same power? We could add these now. 7w cubed and 5w cubed. Those we could add. What would the answer be there? It'd be 12. Would it be w to the 6th? No, we don't mess with powers. When we're adding, it would just stay third power. Whereas when we're multiplying, we add powers. So that's another difference, right? When you're adding, you just add the numbers in the front. You don't mess with the powers at all. The only time you mess with the powers is when you're multiplying or dividing. I think you know all that already. Last one right away. It's a little more involved here. So how about 4w squared times 4 minus w to the third? I think you know how to do that. Give that a try. All right, are we good? So this distributes, and we get 16w squared minus 4w to the 5th. And that's it, huh? We just distribute, and when you multiply the numbers in the front, add the powers. And that's it.
So we're going to be doing factoring next week, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yay.
Yeah. Good? All is well? All right. So 5v minus 1 and 6v plus 3. All right, try that one. Just FOIL, right? First to both, second to both. Remember how that whole thing works? See what you remember. I'll dive in and finish it in just a second. We good? So they take turns, don't they? And one thing that is important is to know what signs are on what. Let me, just to make it even more clear, that minus is really on that 1, right? When they start moving and doing their multiply thing. So just want to be real clear on that. So the 5v is going to go boom and boom. Multiply the 6v and the plus 3. So remember, any signs in front of anybody, that's their baby. That's their sign, right? So that plus is really on that 3, and that minus is on that 1 when they start moving around. So, okay, so 5v times 6v. What's the rule when we multiply letter things? Out front numbers multiply, powers add. What powers are on those v's? Yeah, invisible 1 powers. 5 times 6 is 30v squared. And then the 5v hits the 3, 15v. He's done. His turn is over, right? The first one went to both. And now it's the minus 1's turn. He's going to go to both now. He's going to go boom, and that's minus 6v, and minus 1 times 3, minus 3. So far, so good? I have one more step, right? But does that make sense so far? I just did double multiplication, didn't I? The 5v multiplied both, distributed to both, and the minus 1 distributed to both. Some people, I know we have one more step, but before I go on, let me make sure this step's real clear. Some people call it FOIL. That's a good way to go. I usually just call it double distribution, but I go back and forth. Both are good. So in other words, it's FOIL stands for first. You guys know, huh? First, outer, inner, last. Remember that whole thing? It's just another way to remember this. First, meaning what? You take the first one in this parenthesis times the first one in that parenthesis. Well, that's what we did. And next comes the outer. O stands for the outer. The 2 outer guys. Well, that's exactly what we did. 5 times 3 is 15. And then I stands for the 2 inner guys. That's exactly what we did. And then L stands for the last one in this parenthesis times the last one in that parenthesis. That's exactly what we did. So rather, you can call it FOIL, or you can call it double distribution, right? The 5v distributes to both, and then the minus 1 distributes to both. So either way, same result. Now, what other step? I keep saying we have one more step. What other step do we have to do? Yeah, because now multiplying is over. Let me just write that. Multiplying is over. Now do your add subtract thing, huh? Right? Because there's no more parentheses now, huh? Whenever we multiply through, the parentheses drop off. Now there's no more parentheses. Multiplying is over, so I change gears. I change into add subtract mode, and these two will combine as like terms. So 30v squared, what's that, plus 9? 9v minus 3. That's a shaky looking 3. And we're done there. You guys are giving me that. We know this, Mr. Heron. Is that good, though? Is there anything rusty I can remind you of on that? That all good? Feel free to speak up. So this is C plus D, parentheses, C squared minus CD plus D squared. So, you know that bunch of multiplication, right? That C is going to go to all 3, and then the D is going to go to all 3. 6 multiplications. I think it'll really clean up. Be a bunch of canceling, would be my guess. I think I remember this one. So should be a lot of canceling and cleaning up that happens, if you can get it. Feel free to check with those around you if you want, see if you're getting the same thing. So that C is going to go to all 3. And as he goes, when the letters multiply, powers add, don't they? So this is a C to the invisible 1. The D also has an invisible 1. So the C to the 1 hits the C to the 2 to be C to the 3. Powers add, right? And then the C to the 1 is going to hit this guy next. and the invisible 1 on the c's makes c squared d, like that. And then he's going to hit this guy, c d squared. So he's done. So far, so good. That c went to all three. And now, I'll take the d, boom, boom, boom. He'll go to all three. So plus, and if you want to write dc squared, or you want to put this d in the back, it doesn't matter. The order in which you write this stuff doesn't matter at all. Anyway, is fine. And then the next one, and the d to the 1 adds would be minus c d squared. And then the last one, plus d cubed, because the 1 and the 2. Good so far? That'll be a bunch of canceling, huh? So far so good, all 6 multiplications. First to all 3, second to all 3. And now, yeah, a bunch of stuff's going to cancel, isn't it? So minus c squared d plus c squared d. And then plus cd squared minus cd squared. So all we're left with is these guys. C cubed plus d cubed. There it is. Is that good? How good was it? How many got that? Just want to know, speed up, slow down. Okay, maybe 2/3 of you. That's good. Anything I can remind you of? Any little stuff? I know you've all seen it, but you can be a little rusty on little things here and there. Anything can help with? Yeah, Abraham?
You could, she just made it a little bit easier. She put the CD right at the bottom of the CD squared D.
Oh, line things up?
So
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, you can do it vertically. I like that too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so what you can do, instead of writing this stuff over here, it's your option. You can put it all sideways, but yeah, vertical is kind of nice. Because then you go, yeah, this goes here, and you go c squared d, so plus, so you just line it up with the one it goes with. And then this one goes minus cd squared, and then this one goes plus d cubed. And it's kind of, you can just really see easy the lineup. Yeah, so sometimes it's nice to line them up vertically, like terms with like terms when you do the multiplication. That can be helpful. Yep. All right, good. They always do this. Something, they just throw in fractions near the end of all these sections. So r plus 1/3, r plus 1/3. So just do the regular thing, just FOIL like normal, and just see if you're okay with all the fraction stuff. I'll give you a second. You get more out of it that way, I think. Then I'll finish it. All right, we doing okay? You getting that? Boom and a boom. Be r squared plus 1/3 r, boom and a boom, plus 1/3 r plus 1/9. So far, so good. Am I doing that too quick? Right? So the 1/3 times 1/3 is 1/9. Good. Now, multiplying is over. There's no more parentheses. Now I go into add subtract mode. So these guys are like terms, so I can add them up, right? So we get r squared, 1/3 and 1/3, 2/3, and there we go. Is that good? Questions I can answer? All good? Okay. I'll move along if you're all good with that. So we've got w minus 3t squared. Okay, so what are we supposed to do when we got like a 2 power on a parenthesis like that? Yeah, write 2 of them, huh? W minus 3t, w minus 3t. Totally, yeah, do that, and now just do the regular thing. So go ahead and just do the FOIL thing, the double distribution thing. And that'll be perfect, yes. Good, so then you just distribute that. Boom and a boom. W squared minus 3WT. You can write that either 3TW, 3WT, whatever. Doesn't matter. Boom and a boom minus 3WT plus 9T squared. Everybody got the positive on that 9, right? Because negative 3 times negative 3 on that. And so then combine these two in the middle are like terms. Not 3, it's 6. Minus 3 minus 3 minus 6WT plus 9T squared. Is that good? On that? Questions I can answer? All is well? All right. You stop. Okay, so it gives you this formula, A equals 901 plus I squared. Let me see, what do they say? Suppose 900 is vested, compounded for 2 years. The amount A after 2 years given by, find an equivalent expression for A by squaring. So, anyway, bunch of fancy talk. You don't even need to read these words. Blah, 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 blah. They just want you to multiply it out. There's nothing important there. You just need to FOIL that out. Now, it's a little tricky with the 900 in the front. So what you do is just let the 900 sit there, and remember what does a 2 power out of parentheses do? Got to write 2 of them, right? You have to actually do that. You can't just square the 2 items. That's a real common mistake. Can't do that. You got to actually write 2 parentheses. I worked with my 2 sweet daughters last year. They were taking a class and they just did this several times, all semester long. I kept saying, no, girls, no. So got to write 2 of them. So it's easy mistake. Everybody makes that mistake. So 2 of those parentheses, you got to write 2 of those parentheses, and then you've got to FOIL here, boom and a boom like that. So FOIL, just let the 900 sit there for a minute, and do the whole parenthesis FOIL. So I'll let you finish it from there. So once you get that, once you get the answer to the parenthesis stuff, then let the 900 have his turn. And he'll distribute through the final answer. See if you can get that. All right. So how are we doing? 1 plus I plus I plus I squared. Good so far? Right, because this is really 1I and 1I if you want, right? So either way, 1 times I is just I. So this I is not the, if you've had some higher math, you know about the imaginary. This is just a letter. This is nothing related to that. This could be an X for all we care. So 1, and then you got to gather like terms there, right? 1I and 1I, 2I, right? We're just adding like terms there. So go ahead and be 1 plus 2I plus I squared. Good so far. And now, the 900's been waiting patiently out there. Now, boom, 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 he'll distribute through. Get 900. Right, 900 times 1 is just 900. Plus 900 times 2, 1800I plus 900I squared. There's our answer. So we never did anything with those words. The words were irrelevant. They just wanted us to multiply out the expression. Is that making sense? Is that good on that? So you got to do all the parentheses stuff first, and then let the 900 go through. That's really the moral of the story. Do all the parentheses stuff first, wait on the 900, and let him go through. Is that good? I think we've about finished this section. So number 14 is a big one. B minus F, it's got 3 parentheses. B plus F, and then B squared minus F squared. Okay. Well, really, when you got 3 parentheses, just multiply any 2 of them. It really doesn't matter which, front 2, back 2, whatever. Multiply 2 of them, get it, and while the other one waits, get an answer, and then you get an answer, then do the last 2. So, for example, I'll just start with these 2, let's say. And the last one will just sit there waiting. And so I'll just go, okay, boom and a boom. And what am I going to get? B squared plus BF. And then boom and a boom. Am I racing ahead of you? So minus BF minus F squared. And then the other one, he's still just there. Haven't done anything yet. So I just multiplied the first 2. So go ahead and clean up that first one, and then when you got it clean, multiply it to the red one at the back. And that'll be our final answer. Let's do 2 at a time, in other words. So we did the front 2, clean it, and when I say clean it up, I mean that's going to happen, huh? Let's just cancel. So the front 2, or the front one, just becomes B squared minus F squared, which is coincidentally the same as the back one, isn't it? And now just finish from there. So go ahead and FOIL out the rest of it. All right, so distribute it. Here we go. B to the 4th, powers add, right? B to the 4th minus B squared F squared. Then this guy's going to go to both. Minus B squared F squared plus F to the 4th. We good there? All right, racing ahead of you. You good so far? And now, can we gather any like terms? Right here in the middle, these guys are like terms. It's minus 1 of those B squared F squared things, minus 1 more of those B squared F squared things. So what's that going to make? Minus 2 of those B squared F squared. Remember, I don't mess with powers. I'm in adding, subtracting mode now. So I'm not messing with powers anymore. I'm done messing with powers. Multiplying's over, right? Just bring down the B to the 4th, bring down the F to the 4th. There's our answer. That's the worst one. We went to the end there. Is that good? That's a fairly complex one. Does everybody see what happened? So I multiplied out the front 2, cleaned it up, and then multiplied the back one. In the middle, those were like terms, right? Like terms are same letter patterns. Same letters to same powers. So and when you get like terms, you just do the numbers in the front. You don't mess with powers, huh? Minus 1 and minus 1 is minus 2 of those B squared F squared things in the middle. Is that good? I think you're happy, but tell me if you're not.